Do you think it's easier to be a Christian today or 200 years ago, 100 years ago?
I think 100, 200 years ago.
Why do you think?
The pressure on us, especially young people, I think really like teenagers, 20-year-olds, the culture is so opposed to Christian faith, Christian belief right now.
Can you unpack that? Go a little bit deeper into why you think it's harder today than 200 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we have children, and you just think about if you grew up a couple hundred years ago, you were in a cohesive, if you're in the West, you're growing up in a cohesive Christian society. Your school, your teachers, your friends, your family, your community, they probably all go to the same church or similar churches. That has an effect on culture and it has effect on families. I feel now, especially with young people, we're swimming upstream. You know, they are just bombarded with TikTok and Instagram and social media. And there are so many different viewpoints that are opposed to Christianity that are being thrown in their face. So they might be exposed to, you know, I don't know, 5 anti-Christian thoughts, moments, whatever, a day, probably even more, actually. And then how much time are we spending with our kids to teach them, to catechize them? You know, it's just not enough to send them to Sunday school anymore. So we're swimming upstream. And you look at the numbers, you look at the statistics, we're moving into a post-Christian society and young adults are not identifying as much. Now, those numbers have leveled out this year. We were seeing a lot of decline. Now we're starting to see flatline with young adults. So that's a good sign, but it's still not great.
How much of propaganda you think was more used 200 years ago, 100 years ago versus today?
Humans haven't changed and power structures haven't changed. So I think propaganda, whether you're defining it good or bad, I think has an equal power. It's just that now I think we're in the minority, culturally speaking. We don't have the strength and the influence and the universal presence to, if you want to use the word, propagandize our culture, our society, our young people.
ChatGPT may be eroding critical thinking skills according to a new MIT scale. The findings they had is the ChatGPT group showed the weakest overall brain activity. And they kind of explained the mental laziness, soulless writing, poor memory retention, highest engagement from non-AI users. The enemies today, how different are those enemies than they were even 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago?
We know St. Paul says that our enemies are not flesh and blood, but they're the evil principalities, the spirits of darkness. So I think ultimately our enemies is something metaphysical, something preternatural. And we're in a moment where, again, it's not just propaganda against us. It's actually, as the study shows, it's reducing critical thinking, which just makes people weak.